let's try this for a fourth time. And if this video lags a little bit on the screen, we're just going to try and push through so that we can get some done. Okay, so give the coordinates for the following objects. Remember which axis goes first, okay? So the x-axis always goes first and the y goes second. And that's so that if you've got a coordinate such as 2, 4, if you were to then go 2, 4 this way, it would be a totally different object. So we always do the x first. Okay, so let's say the brick wall, which is here, we're going to say 4, because that's our first one, and 2. And the way we would write it is a 4 and a comma and a 2 afterwards. Okay, makes sense? Yep. Alright, I won't do all the others because that would take too much time. Now the opposite of that style of question is where you are given the coordinates and you're asked what is on that spot. So 6, 2, 6, 2, windmill. Got it? Super duper. Alright, next page. Lots of problems on here to do with time, okay? So a couple of times we've, get it? So funny. Okay, a couple of times we've gone through types of questions like this. This is called elapsed time. Okay, and that means the time between 2 points in the day or night. Alright, so what I've talked about before is to do the minutes to the next hour, then count the hours, and then any leftover minutes. Sorry about my writing there. Okay, so how many minutes will take me to the next hour here? We've got 7 will take me to 8:30, so it's going to be Denver, yeah?
7 hours and 47 minutes.
Oh, okay, hold on a second. So we've got 37 minutes to 9 o'clock, and then we've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 7 hours and 10 minutes. Okay, so all together we've got 7 hours and 47 minutes. Okay? 7 hours and 47 minutes. Alright, there's some other time, there's some other time questions there of a similar nature. But so this video doesn't go for an hour, I'm not going to do them all. Okay? Just be aware, fellas, if it says something like the next day, that might affect your calculations. You would add on perhaps 24 hours or 12 hours depending on what the question was about. Okay, timetable questions. It says read over the timetable and answer the questions. So this is a timetable to do with transport of some sort, because I can see that it says ARR for arrive and DEP for depart. Okay, it's got different towns down here, and then it's got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It also is in 12-hour time, AM and PM. Okay, so how long does it take to travel from Brisbane to Townsville on Monday or Tuesday? So Brisbane to Townsville on Monday, and then same here. Okay, why didn't they ask about Wednesday? James?
I wasn't putting my hand up.
Oh, okay. Ed, why didn't they ask about Wednesday?
On Wednesday, they don't go to town.
Right, okay, so there must be less demand or something for that service. Okay, so again, we're going to do similar things. So half an hour. Oh, I think it's frozen.
7
Alright,
hours.
hold on a second.
2 hours. No.
I don't know why that video's done that. Okay, give me a sec. Shush, please. Thank you. Have another go at that. So, question was Brisbane to Townsville Monday or Tuesday. So we've got half an hour takes me to 9, and then 9 to 10 is an hour. Now this is one of those questions, guys, where when you add up the 2 sets of minutes, then it's going to take us forward to another hour. So if I was to write it, it'd be 1 hour plus 70 minutes. But once it clocks over to another hour, which is 60, you need to reflect that in your answer. So that would be 2 hours, 10 minutes. Okay? It's got other questions like what is the waiting time in Cairns before the aircraft leaves for Thursday Island on Wednesday? So heaps of information there. Waiting time, Cairns, Thursday Island, Wednesday. Okay, so you look here on a Wednesday, how long do I have to wait between when it departs Cairns and Thursday Island on Wednesday? Does anyone who is sitting at their desk have the answer for that?
Yes. 1 hour.
What, Archie, what did you get? So it's between here and here, I believe. So when it arrives at Cairns and then departs again.
1 hour and 10 minutes.
It's 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Okay, I think it's longer than that. Illy, what did you have?
No,
13 hours and 30 minutes.
Okay, yeah, because it's AM to PM.
Oh.
Yeah, cool. So 10 minutes would take, yeah, that's all that attention to detail you've got to take care of. Yeah, good work, Illy.
I did it on Monday.
Okay, you've got to carefully look at the question. Okay, guys, I've seen the exam. There are lots of problem-solving questions in there. So making sure that you're on top of that's a really good idea. Sit up, please, guys. Sit up, thank you. As soon as you lay down, you start to relax and switch off. Okay, so I put a cake in the oven to bake at 4:15 p.m. and remember we're always going to highlight our key information. It needs to bake for 65 minutes or an hour and 5 minutes. Then it needs to rest for another 15 minutes before it is right to eat. Who waits that long anyway? What time can I eat the cake is the question. Okay, so we've got 4:15 p.m. 65 minutes, so that's an hour and 5 minutes. So I'm going to go, that's going to take me to 5:20 p.m. And then another 15 minutes is 5:35 p.m. Cool. And whenever we answer a problem-solving question, we write it in a sentence. Is when I can eat the cake.
Will you lose marks if you don't do that?
I just think it's always a really good idea. Yep. Okay, Jason goes running most days. What a crazy person. On Monday, he left home at 4:25 p.m. So that's actually not needed, that first paragraph, is it? Doesn't make any effect on our problem solving. Monday, he left home at 4:25 p.m. and ran for, what?
2 hours and 4 minutes. Crazy bad.
Far out, man. Shush. Shush. Okay, so for me, I would do the...
I'll do fly.
Thank you. I would do the hours first, so that will take me to 6:25 plus 14 minutes. 6. It's not 6 hours and 35. It's 6:39 p.m. He returned home. Okay, so a lot of the time with time questions, you will do the hours and the minutes separately. That's a really good way to do it. These are similar time questions, but they look like they're getting longer each time. When you've got a question like this one, important that you highlight the key info. Larry asked his wife how much time she spends putting on her makeup each week. Whoa, that's a lot. Okay then. Probably about as long as some of you spend on your hair each day. She timed herself every day for 5 days. Her recordings, what is she doing? 70 minutes? That's crazy. Okay, thank you. Good answer, Sean. Larry said, you're beautiful enough as you are.
Aww.
picture, guys. Goes down a real treat. Okay, thanks boys. Let's focus. I don't want to have too much talking, fellas, when I'm actually working through the question. Okay, so we've got all of these different minutes. Now, if this was me, I wouldn't try to add them up all together. I would do one by one and convert them to hours as I went. Okay, so Elfie, what did you get for that question, please?
I didn't do that.
Archie?
She spends 2 hours.
What?
It doesn't seem long enough yet.
4 hours, I mean.
Right.
And 2 minutes.
No,
Okay.
Yeah, I got 4 hours.
It's 4 hours and 7 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
4 hours. Okay, I suppose I'm going to have to do this question now.
long, miss.
She didn't eat.
Okay, another way you could do it, fellas, actually, is to add it up like this. Let's see if this is actually easier.
I found it easy. If you actually plus 35 and 20, that gets 55.
Yeah.
Then you plus 45, 55.
I'll just do it this way to start with. Fellas, thank you.
I'm so dumb.
Tom, can you please sit away from other people for the moment? Because you're being a bit annoying, I think, mate. Okay, so 17. I'll just go through this question. Yep, 1 for 6, 9, 11, 17, 2, 24. Okay, so that's 247 minutes. All right, but it says in hours and minutes is the way that they want that question answered. Okay, please, fellas, please. What am I going to divide this by, or what am I going to think to myself, how many times does this figure fit into it? What figure am I talking about?
The minute of hours.
I'm going to do it in minutes though, so 60, yeah, because it's 1 hour.
Yeah.
So how many times does 60 fit into 247? Just a minute, Max. I can see you calling out instead of just waiting. Henry? 4 times gets us to 240, so it's 4 hours and 7 minutes. And 7 minutes. Okay, or the other way you could put it is too long. No, don't just put that, I'm joking.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Okay.
Okay. Beyonce has someone to do her makeup, I'm sure. Don't think she'd do her own. Okay, so there's a couple more time questions. Something we haven't gone through yet is converting from 12 to 24-hour time. Okay. Now, Max, you're not drawing on notepad, are you? Okay, good. All right. Just look like you might be. All right. So remember, our rules with 12 to 24-hour time is if it is AM, it stays almost the same way as it already is, perhaps putting a 0 in front. But if it's in the PM, that's when you need to add 12, okay? So PM plus 12, okay? So here, this is an AM time, so it's going to be 0840. All right, you don't need to put these 2 little dots in between. It just becomes 4 numbers back to back. Okay, if it's in the PM, you need to add 12. So here, 11 and 12, that becomes 23:55. And of course, the minutes remain the same. It's just the hours that changes. Okay, there's another timetable question there. I'm not going to go through those questions. If on the weekend you're going through this again and there's a question that you really can't work out or you're not sure if you've got it correct, then you're going to email me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Love receiving your emails on my weekend. It's just the best. Okay. Money questions. The type of questions you're going to find that you have is adding up different amounts of money, which is part of our budgeting that we did, okay? Also finding 10% of something, all right? That might be another type of question that you will have in your exam.
Maybe.
Most probably, okay? Okay, so Jack, and also receiving change from a certain amount, like this sort of question. Jack had $10, he bought a pair of socks for $2.30 and a pair of gloves for $5.50. How much money did he have left? So pretty simple question. You're going to add up the 2 amounts. $2.30 and $5.50. All right. And then you're going to subtract that from the 10. So you're going to have $2.20 left. Ooh.
Who knew that was going to happen to me?
Got a ghost in the classroom. Okay. Okay. So these are all similar style questions. What I might do now is just show you a 10% question. Okay, so finding percent. We did this in our GST stuff.
Yeah.
What does GST stand for again?
Government.
Nope. Goods.
Good services tax.
Great. Goods and services tax. Okay. So finding 10% of something. Okay. Say I've. There goes the camera. Okay, cool. Say I've found 10% of something. Let's say, to find 10% of something, let's say I've got something that costs $2.30. To find 10%, I just need to do what with my decimal point?
Put your decimal point one place to the left.
Great. Okay, so for here, then that becomes 23, and if we're talking 0.23, if we're talking in dollars, it's 23 cents. Awesome. Okay, so 10% of $2.30 is 23 cents. Can I tell you that's a really good thing to know for your exam? Last question, fellas. Focus for one more question, guys. Okay, so our problem-solving strategy is design and make a table, and we did heaps of practices on these. There is also a couple of videos on the website that specifically go through our problem-solving as we did in class. So I'm just going to do the one of these. Jeremy.
These questions on the revision sheet. I knew a faster way of doing it than the table.
Okay, sure. So Jeremy's just said, guys, for those of you that didn't hear, he didn't use a make a table strategy. He had a different way. I'm totally cool with that as long as you show you're working, and obviously it's going to give you the right answer. You're pretty sure. Okay. All right, just a sec. So a farmer has 3 different hen houses. One hen contains red hens. Sorry, one house contains red, the second black, the third white. Every day, the red hens lay 5, the black lay 8, the white lay what?
You're getting the tongue twisted up.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. How many? Well, it's in front of you, so you should be fine. How many days will it take for the hens to lay a total of 80 eggs?
That's easy.
Guys, the most important part of problem solving, in my opinion, is to make sure that you know what the question is asking you to do. It's not asking you how many days until the red hens lay 80. It's saying total altogether. Okay? So let's make a table for this.
What happens if it goes over?
Well, let's find out if that's the case or not. So let's say it does go over, say it goes 78 and then 82. 78 is still not 80, is it?
No.
82 is, so you would count that as your answer. Okay, so we're going to have R for red, B for black, W for white. Ah!
Damn it!
Stop, please, gentlemen. Okay, let's try that again. We've got R, B and W. The pattern is 5, 8, 3, okay? And then of course we should have the total down here. So there's a couple of different ways which we talked about in the last time we did problem solving to do this. There's the one that is requiring all the working, but there might be a faster way. Okay, let's see if we can work that out. So we've got 5 and 8 is 13 and 3 is 16. Let's do another, so this is day 1. that's day 2, so that's days. Okay, 8, and then another 8 is 16, and then another 3 is 6. Okay, so we've got 10 and 16 is 26, and 6 is 32. So each time it's going up by, do we need to fill out this anymore?
No.
What do we able to just do now?
16 onto each one.
Awesome, let's do that. 32 plus 16 is?
48.
Awesome, James, thanks.
You're welcome.
48 plus 16 is?
64.
64?
No, that's incorrect.
Okay, great.
Next one's 80.
62?
No, it is 64.
It is 64.
64. Okay, 48 plus 10 is 58, then plus 6 is 53.
Don't yell at me. 80. Really?
Yes.
Okay, so that is day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5 days to lay 80 eggs all together. Okay, so I'm not going to go through these questions, but if you need any extra help on the weekend with any of those, shoot me an email. If it's like 8 o'clock on a Sunday night, I'm sorry, I'm in bed asleep. Don't email me then, I won't write back to you. Okay, but before then, I will try. Okay?